Ready spaghetti!
Ready spaghetti! Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Monster Noire. Actions have consequences. Today is October 21st, 2020, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audiocasts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can find our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community but also from each other. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, the easiest way to ask them their questions is going to be to join us on Discord. You can find the link to the side over, if you're watching live, which you totally should be, or if you're joining us via audiocast or VOD, you can check out the link in the description down below. But if you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on YouTube, Twitch, all of those other places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where else can I possibly support the show? Hey, guess what? You can go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. We got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we have buttons, we have, what are the little side bags called that you can get groceries in? They're just tiny bags. We have those too. Tote bags. We got tote bags. We got I have a design that has a backpack now, so you could possibly get yourself a backpack. And we also introduced a new design into the merch store today. That's right. It's a design specifically for Satan because of her antics in our Tyrant Security game. We have the symbol of Asmodeus with a Live, Laugh, Love font over the top that says Most Fuckable Grandpa. So if you want to get your grandpa something awesome for Father's Day next year, you know exactly where to go to. indooradventure.redbubble.com. You have access to the most fuckable grandpa merch you can possibly find. So consider it. Other than that, that's it for my spiel. So hey, Satan, who you playing today?
First of all, can I just say that I'm so proud of birthing the best piece of merch I've ever seen on your store so far.
It's like hot pink text.
Yeah, over a symbol of Asmodeus. Hi everyone, my name is Satan. Tonight, I'll be playing Lilith, the vampire mobster. She uses she/her pronouns, I use she/they pronouns, and we'll get to see what happens after the mess that was last month's game.
Excellent. And, yeah.
Go. Oh, sure. Hi, I'm Jen. I play Beltane Hawthorne, the mobster Fae to Lilith. He uses he, them pronouns, and I use she, her pronouns. He did a bad thing.
He did a bad thing, yeah.
He did a bad thing.
Hi everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. I'm going to be playing as a new character tonight, and we'll introduce her later.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I'm going to be playing as Kane, also known as Keys, the Phantom Lich. Both of us use he, him.
And rounding us out as the storyteller this evening, Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern. And some things about this game and story. We wrote the game one night before we played it, the night before we played it at like 1 in the morning.
2 or 3 in the morning.
Exactly. And we've been playing it now for a year and a half or more, once a month. And it's like Dark Shadows, like Supernatural, Hellboy, sort of that kind of thing. It's a noir setting, but there's monsters. So it's there's a veil over the earth that keeps people from seeing the monsters normally. There are times a year where the veil gets thin. There are people who can see beyond the veil, and the monsters can all see each other and interact. Like I said, think of Diagon Alley or such from Harry Potter. And with that, where we were last time, we don't really need to say much about, because we're going to kind of jump a little bit ahead into a fall season, heading towards All Hallows Eve, because, well, that's the time of year it is. The gang has come back from their trip to France, and they are now back in the east coast of Merca in the 1920s. And with that, we come in over a full the seaside town, and we see a big moon in the sky, and we smoothly transfer in. Oh, some details we will need. Sorry about that. We will need the fact that Harker ran away last time and has been missing for quite some time. You all managed to beat her back to Kane's house, to grab the saxophone where the other half of her soul was hiding, and you've managed to keep missing Harker from said soul. She has tried very hard to get it and has not been able to yet. And so then with this going on, we sweep in over our seaside sleepy town, full moon. The leaves are almost all off the trees. They're all creepy hands reaching into the sky. And we come down over the iron wrought fence of Lilith's manor. Hold on. And we see this this mansion effectively with these big columns and a drive, and we see basically we see like an undertaker's carriage from the 1700s or so rumble and rattle up to the place, and we hear the sort of nightmarish horses snort and stomp a bit, and then we swing around and we don't get to see the driver, and we come through the window into the house. Kane, you're there. You're talking about you're basically having a meeting with Beltane and Lilith about, this is like your weekly meeting or whatever, about what you're going to do with the soul and how you're going to keep it safe and where Harker is.
Has there been any Harker sightings? Or are they just like a blurry picture looking over their shoulder?
Yeah, they're definitely Bigfoot sightings of Harker. You have contacted Jean several times, and you tried to use magic and whatnot, but something is keeping Harker obfuscated from easy location. There have been several attempts on the soul, so you know that someone, most likely Harker, is after it. But that's about where you are with this. Like I said, you're having your like weekly meet about Harker soul and Harker sightings and whatnot, and we came around that hearse-like carriage, and we swung in through the window to see the three of you discussing Harker's soul.
All right, so I still have it somewhere safe, but I think she might be getting wise to it. Did any of you tell her that where it was exactly before all that ended up happening in South America?
You gave me a vague description of where it was, so I can really...
Good. Because it's getting weird. I mean, things are always, like, generally weird with us, but, like, it's still, like... It's like they know where it is. It's like a homing thing, which I get. I mean, it's like a part of you's missing. So that would make sense, but it still just is almost unnerving.
And there's probably been dozens of squirrels found dead on your porch.
That's not good. I mean, I had a squirrel problem before, but now there's a problem for the squirrels that I have a problem with, and only I get to have a problem with those squirrels, nobody else.
Well, you do know that there is a cat that lives with you that has been staunchly defending the home versus said squirrel intrusions.
Kane, you could always stay here should you wish.
Oh, I'm never gonna do that. That sounds awful.
Yes, having someone at your beck and call to give you whatever you wish.
Yeah, but that person's working for you. That sounds terrible.
I pay them well.
Excuse me, I'm sitting right here.
No, like, Belle, you would not be at my beck and call. I wouldn't, like, wake up in the middle of the night looking for a hot glass of milk and be like, Beltane, tell me a story. Like, that's not gonna happen. I would much rather just get drunk in my own home and break my own thing. Actually, wait, no, Lilith, is there still a room available?
Are you gonna break my things?
I'm gonna drink your liquor and I'm gonna break your things instead of my own, yeah.
And with that, we see boots hit the ground from outside from this carriage, and we're like looking in underneath the carriage, and we see the boots hit, and we see some strides, and Lilith, you hear on your door. And one of the goblins shrieks from in the hallway, and you hear the door slam, and Miss Lilith! Miss Lilith!
I'm
If it's
coming.
Krampus, I'm not here.
I'm coming.
No, we told him you were away this year, so he will come here.
Whew.
I'll go to the shrieking goblin. What's wrong, dear? Use your words.
You should look.
Oh,
And
okay.
They stumble away from the door.
Does my door have a peephole?
No, not at this time.
Yeah. She'll turn the door handle and open it.
And Wings, what do we see?
You see a tall figure. She's a good 6 foot tall. She has a wide-brimmed hat with a veil over her face. It is a woman dressed in full-on, like, widow's mourning regalia.
Oh dear, I love your style.
She just kind of nods quietly, raises a hand in greeting. She reaches into her hand purse and she hands you a business card. The business card reads, Philomena Cosgrove, Philly in quotation marks. I am mute. Do you know sign language?
I would say yeah, after her years of living, she would. She signs back, yes, I do.
She says, hello, I am Philly, as my card says. I'm looking for a Detective Harker. Could you help me?
Aren't we all, dear? Why are you looking for Detective Harker?
I'm afraid there's been a murder. I need
Isn't
her
there always?
Well, yes, but this time it's very personal to me.
You see, Detective Harker is indisposed at the moment. But, depending on what it is, I could help you.
She just sort of nods.
She opens the door for you to come in.
All right. And when she does nod, she kind of uses her whole body to do so. It's really more of a bow than anything else. She steps in. She does not remove her hat. And she will just kind of walk in, regard the rest of you. Belle, I'd say that you gain a very strong sense of fae about this person. As well as like just a very strong like feeling of doom and death about her.
So she fits in perfectly.
Does the carriage remain?
I think that as she steps in, there is a fog that kind of swallows the carriage, and unbeknownst to anybody witnessing it, that carriage is now gone.
look Philly over and just hand a small food menu to Kane. I'll make these for you if you want, but adjust it as you see fit if you're staying. I'm pleased to meet you, madam. I am Beltane. Welcome to the house. Would you like tea, coffee?
She politely declines.
She's mute, so please speak to her in sign language.
Oh, she says, I can hear. I just can't speak.
Okay. My brain just for a second.
Different word.
Yeah. She's mute, so she'll be speaking in sign language, she'll say.
Which form? French, American, Spanish?
It's nice to meet you.
She can hear you just fine, Kane.
Yeah, but I don't know what she's saying. The hand
I'll
thingy, I
translate
don't.
for you. It's alright. I'll translate for you.
We can get you lessons.
Just assume that from this point forward, whenever Philly is speaking, Lilith is translating for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, dear. A murder, you said?
Yes. And you see her kind of like, she moves very bodily with her shoulders. She just kind of regards each person in the room. And she says, it's kind of a sensitive subject. Is everyone of the same thinking?
We can all see through the veil if that's what you're asking.
Oh, good. She takes her hat off. And her... Oh.
And Philly, you did notice that all the servants in the house are like orcs and goblins too. So,
yes.
But
okay.
Sorry.
It's fine. She takes her hat off and her head comes with it.
Kane faints.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
And you can see that inside the hat, it is 100% just a mannequin's head. It is a false, like it's not real.
It's there for like.
It's for show.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh dear.
Put Kane in a nice comfy chair and put a blanket over him.
Don't worry about him. He'll be fine.
When I say murder, I mean an attempted murder. Someone has stolen my head.
Ah, you're a Dullahan, correct?
Yeah. Yes, that is correct.
Now, we could help you with this, though I would offer that you do not go looking for Detective Harker.
Is she not?
She's been away.
I see. Well,
compromising position.
I do need help, and there are very few options for people like us, as I'm sure you're aware.
Miss, Philly, if you will. Have you lived here long?
No, I'm not really from here.
Where are you from?
Ireland.
My cousin's courts.
If you have any issues here, I am here to serve those like us. So I'm more than happy to help you in this situation. Now, where was your head last?
She is going to give you the address of a hotel where she was staying.
And did you keep it under lock and key, hidden?
I kept it on my shoulders.
And I understand there are some Dullahans that keep it secret. And I'm assuming you saw then who took your head.
I'm afraid they approached me from behind.
Interesting. But clearly someone who has it out for you and no one can see through the veil if they just took your head up, which is quite rude, may I add.
I would agree.
Any details that could help us that you know of?
Anyone have a grudge against you, your family?
Well, people of
Mary.
my kind are known to carry people away from time to time. I have to say I haven't made a habit of that in recent years.
Hmm.
So perhaps an ancient grudge of some sort?
Did you see any hands grasping at your head? What, are you able to still see through your head when it's not connected to you?
I cannot.
All right.
When it's closer, yes, but something has, I assume it has been tampered with.
Hmm.
I
God.
hope it hasn't been destroyed.
Hmm. That would be quite concerning.
And how are her senses functioning currently without said head and ears and eyes and such?
I figure it's just kind of like a magical effect. She sense. Anybody familiar with Avatar: The Last Airbender?
No.
Yes.
There's a character in Avatar: The Last Airbender who is blind, and she uses earthbending to feel the vibrations in the earth to see, like, quote unquote, see where everything is. It's basically blind sight.
Yeah.
Tremor sense, if you
Describe,
will.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Daredevil style, except your whole body is a timpan ear piece kind of thing, like frogs can hear with their
Just-
whole bodies.
Just feeling the vibrations through
Yeah.
the air, and basically I'd say even like if we did like a Daredevil style like view of what things look like to her, like she has a feeling of what the weave is, and she's just got like auras off of the weave and things that kind of move through them, or like
Like a bat sonar, but without screaming.
yeah, like you know how like they'll do aerodynamics tests and then like pump fog in to see how like the air moves. That's what it looks like to her.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Interesting.
different colored fogs, just kind of, and mists moving in and out of each other.
Do you have any other details that could help us in this situation?
Well, I lost consciousness shortly after being attacked. I believe they came at me with a bladed weapon.
Oh, who or what was your passenger at the time?
Oh, did I have a passenger?
Yes.
I'll say that my passenger was. Ooh, I'm afraid that this person's going to be in danger, so I better make it not be somebody I like a whole lot.
It can be a what too.
Yeah. I'll say that she was transporting a gnoll type creature. It's basically a werewolf, but like with more hyena-like qualities.
Okay.
And he's known in the jazz community. He goes by Chuckles.
Chuckles.
Well, you when you rose from the ground, you realized that Chuckles' nose was missing.
Just his nose?
Just his nose.
Ow. That was.
Was he alive?
No. You were just carting him off to the land of the dead. He had passed, and you were.
She will mention that. She's like, She explains that her job is very similar to like the Grim Reaper. She is a guide from this life to the next. And she was taking somebody there, and he was missing his nose.
Someone going after body parts.
Gross.
Not the worst.
Mm.
Who could? Kane, do you have the smelling salts, Beltane?
I have lavender and rosemary today.
Lavender, I think you'll appreciate that.
Okay. Put some lavender smelling salts under Kane's nose.
says to Lilith, is he going to be okay?
Yes, dear, he's still not quite used to this life.
Oh, it's
Hey,
crazy.
buddy.
I almost thought, last I remember, there was a lady, she took off her own head. That was crazy. Oh! I can do something kind of like that, too. Not really. I'm sure you're nice. What?
Her whole
This
body
is-
tips
yeah.
inquisitively.
This is, Philly. She's a Doulahan, so she can remove her head. Unfortunately, her head has been stolen.
A fairy.
Did you see who did it? Oh, no. A fairy?
Oh, they came from behind.
That'll do it. So a fairy took your head.
No.
Philly's the fairy.
Doulahans are fae.
Particularly in Ireland.
Okay.
I think we're giving him too much information at once, dear.
Headless horseman.
Oh, like the Inkabob guy. Okay.
Yes, there you go.
Gotcha. All right. I know that one.
Her shoulders
Yeah.
rise and fall.
I'm
of, like,
sorry, dear.
Incredulously.
I'm sorry, dear. She'll like pat her hand.
She pats your hand back, like kind of like it's fine.
Well,
She'll give Kane a business card as well.
Kane will look at it and then just like tuck it into his front pocket. And then he'll like extend his hand out and say, I don't think we got properly introduced. So, Kane, nice to meet you, Philly.
She shakes hands with him. She probably, with her head removed, is about the same height that he is.
He will.
She's just
He's going to actually extend his left hand to shake yours.
okay. She'll take it. Ha!
And then no, like as the handshake finishes, he'll turn around and just like let the arm detach from his elbow and just be like, all right, so what are we doing about this? Oh, right, sorry, that one's mine. And he'll like turn back and then take his arm back from Philly, pop it on.
Have you still not gotten used to having your whole arm being detachable?
It's you know how they're like baby steps, learning curve, that sort of thing. Yeah, I was about here on the learning curve.
Is there
Now
anything
it's a
we can do
little
to help
past
you?
that. Time, some
Is
gold,
the gold.
some
Do you need more
booze.
gold?
I don't need more. I mean, that makes it sound like I have a problem. No, I'd love more.
Okay, I mean, this is a serious medical condition. I'm happy to give it to you.
Ah?
Your
Yep.
arm comes off if I don't give you gold, so I'm
I
happy
think
to
he
give you
can
gold.
I think he can do that. Whether he's just not used to the whole arm coming off. I think he
So,
has control over that.
my arm and knot. We're helping Philly find a face?
Yes.
Yes. The last she said, she was Doulahan's transport the dead through the veil to the other side. She was transporting a gnoll, a hyena-like creature. You might know him actually. Apparently, he was in the jazz scene.
Oh,
Went
yeah,
by the
because
name-
all jazz artists know each other.
Well, it's a small town.
Was it this town?
Yes.
Oh.
They went by the name Chuckles.
Oh,
Oh, fucking Chuckles.
I hadn't heard he passed.
He did.
He lost his
Appar-
nose.
Apparently,
Oh,
his nose was missing.
that was his best feature.
That's not how I picked him up, I assure you.
That's not how you picked him up. So I think there's someone out here stealing body parts, and unfortunately,
Like he holds his arm and like tucks it away a little bit.
you might want to do that. Yes, dear.
So, not, I don't, no spoilers or reveals, but Beltane, did you get some gold for Kane?
Yes.
All right. Philly?
I would say they would have a general setup. Like, you need this? Here, I got it for you.
Like, did he actually get the gold out?
Yeah, he'll pull it out and
It's
say,
like those waitress things on the hip where you just pull the coins out.
yeah.
Like chunk, chunk, chunk. A Pez dispenser for Kane.
Yeah.
Right into his mouth. Yes. As soon as the gold becomes visible, Philly will like slide backward on her heels, just like zzz.
No gold for you, I assume.
Never touch the stuff.
We'll keep in mind.
You'd watch as Kane just like absorbs this coin. Then no gold. Simple, really.
If she had a mouth, she would gag.
Would I be able to make like like a brains roll to see if I know what kind of creature would kind of steal body parts or have interest in like a Doulahan's head or anything?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Usually that's a Harker job.
Well, we don't say that name here, okay? 11.
Okay. There is, as far as you know, no nose stealers out there. There are creatures that go after livers. There are creatures that only eat hearts. There are even some that only eat fingers and toes. But as
The
far
original foot fetish.
as far as you know, there's no nose eaters. There are of course Tarantino. There are of course Wookalars, which use their nose to suck sheep's brains straight out of their skull. They have snouts that, but even then, they use their nose, not remove the nose.
She'll kind of be talking through this list, like whether there's creatures that eat hearts or liver. These use, but they only use their nose to suck sheep's brains out. There's creatures that eat fingers and toes, but not. She's just going through this list. I can't think of anything that would be interested in both. I mean, they could not be connected, of course, but I would assume if it happened the same night or when you already pick them up. Most things aren't coincidences.
Well, like maybe one of the other I assume the nose might have been coincidence, unless it was like that was the plan from the get-go. Because if you're gonna take somebody's head and you're already interested in taking body parts, if there was a good nose lying there, if I was in whoever's shoes, I would probably also take the nose. That's just me. I'm not saying I did it. There is no confession here as to proving me guilty about this, because that's fucking weird. But I'm just saying, if the opportunity presented itself, yes, I would probably also take the nose.
I'm going to assume that by how you passed out when she took her head off, you did not actually take her head.
No, I did not, because the head would have rolled and then seen an unconscious guy for a hot second, and I probably wouldn't have, I probably would have had a little bit more forethought, like, all right, deep breaths, the head will come off naturally, maybe. I don't actually know. Is it like a magnet pull?
To be fair, I passed out too when my head was removed.
That's fair. Beltane or Kane, I'm not sure how your time magic works. If we were able to go back to the spot where her head was taken, we'll be able to go through the memories of that place.
What? What makes you think I could ever do that?
That would be very remarkable if you could.
I would have used that at least a dozen times by now.
Well, I don't know if your powers grow with time.
No.
Mine do. Oh.
No, I have like a set list, and that's basically it.
Well, I didn't want to assume, dear.
You know what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of you.
That's why I didn't.
I think there's more to that. But anyways.
There is.
Philly's signing it to herself. It's all like, and me?
Philly, if you could take us to where it all occurred, please. We will do our best to help you.
Of course. She will move her hand in a auspicious way, and a fog will fill the room. And you hear the distant clopping of hooves and the whinnies of doomed stallions. And out of the fog comes a terrifying, like, hearse-style carriage. The places where there would be lanterns are just skulls with their mouths open with candles in them.
Oh dear, that's an amazing carriage.
Is this some more of that Wild Hunt shit, Belle?
No, this is better. This is a black carriage, as he hugs a horse around its neck. And I haven't
They're
seen
quite
one in
beautiful.
years.
If anybody's seen, like, oh shoot, Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Disney version, Frollo's steed, like with the long mane and just kind of like the sinister look. There's two of them.
They're quite beautiful, dear.
They are the best. Scritch the horse's neck.
She'll snap her fingers and the doors fly open.
Oh, this is amazing, Belton. We must get one of these if we can.
Well, they're usually reserved for the royalty in the courts, but yes, I agree.
Also, anyone who's played Age of Sigmar or such, you would also see some maybe painted by Jen.
Yeah. Or at least we should model one of the hearses after this, anyway.
Yes. Well, there's a difference between Irish and Isle Britain. We have different. He gets in the car.
I'm neither, so. Dear, I'm French.
Billy will actually stand at the door and like help you guys into the carriage.
Thank you, dear.
And when she lets Kane in, she kind of lingers on his hand for a moment and then lets go.
He'll like, it's one of those like lingers on his hand. He looks towards you, and there would be the moment of like making eyes, but there's no gaze. Like, it's just the like the anime outline, like boop boop. boop. It's like, oh right, sorry.
This is why she wants her head back. It's so much easier to flirt.
Yeah.
It's like your arm comes off, my head comes off.
Well, there might be
I'm not saying.
She
But...
gets into the carriage. And they go off into the mist. It's still inside the house. But like, they move through the weave and come out in front of the hotel that she had told you guys about.
Kane will take out his mini accordion, and he will play Irish music. Because Philia said that she's from Ireland. He doesn't know literally anything else about her, but music is a universal language.
That really brings me back. The first person I kidnapped in a black coach was with my cousin Carmine, and we just had we should find the head.
Okay.
How many people did you kidnap?
127, but that was a long time ago.
Honestly, that's not very many for you. Good job for showing restraint.
Very.
All right.
Carriage comes to a stop.
You are at the scene of the crime, outside of the hotel. People are passing by, and we do the veil vision, like the sweep where it's this gothic carriage with these the nightmare stallions, and a vampire and a fey lord and a lich stepping out, and a woman with no head. And then as we swing by, it becomes a like 1920s hearse. Lilith's just a beautifully dressed mobster. Beltane, Philly in mourning, and Kane is a jazz musician. Just pretty much Kane, but his hand looks like a hand.
Yeah, it's always under like the mummy
that's
rap
right.
style.
That's
so
right.
like
That's right.
veil or no, he just kind of looks the same.
Yeah, so it happened right here in the street. It wasn't like, it happened in the hotel room or whatever. It was pretty much you put Chuckles in for the ride and went to stand back up, and your head was gone.
The right here, dear.
Yes, she nods with her whole body.
Yeah. All right, Beltane, is there something you can do to help?
Oh, well, actually, probably more in your ballpark. You command the shadows.
Hmm. That is true. Okay. How do I? She's gonna. You tell me if this is too out of my depth, but could she command the shadows to recreate the moment since the shadows have always been there?
You could try.
Ooh.
You certainly may try.
That's charm, I believe.
Correct.
Charm. I rolled a 7 plus 3, so that's 10.
All right. So as you begin to command the shadows, upon the wall, the street light is coming in, and upon the wall, the shadows like zoom up into the light, like in a shadow puppet show, and they again, the gothic hearse pops up, and then a shadow of a black silhouette of Philly with this furred form comes walking through and lays them out, and Philly begins to stand back up, and this you see a shorter figure, like with like a sickle, comes from behind and sort of almost not quite jumps, but definitely stands upon tiptoes and brings the whole head off and just shoves the body aside, and the head's laying there like face down, and they take the hook and the shadow. You see the shadow crawl in on top of Chuckles and use the hook and remove the nose, and that goes in a bag. And then the shadow steps out and starts to step away, and then the shadow flips, like I said, like shadow puppet style, and then comes back and takes and gets a bag and covers and scoops the head into it, like almost like a pillow, and then ties the bag and puts the bag on the thing. And then you see the hook. The hook seems to go into a box that appears, like this square appears, and the hook vanishes into the box, and then that shadow walks into the shadows of the alley and are obscured.
Do we get a certain silhouette from the small figure, like a goblin, like goblin ears, or like a stout gnome or dwarven figure, or?
You rolled a 10.
Yeah. That's a success, baby.
Yeah. Ooh. I would say about all you get from it is that the form is humanoid. Again, these are shadows trying to make memories for you.
Yeah, that's why I meant like just the silhouette.
Yeah.
Like if it had bigger ears that come out,
No.
or like stout.
It appears to be, like I said, a shorter humanoid. There is nothing to define it as, a troll, or no gangly arms or squat pot belly, or an ogre or anything. It looks pretty humanoid. I will say, because you rolled a 10, it had a feminine form.
Okay.
Definitely more of a feminine
Yeah.
And everything's
She'll-
going to
Talk
look
about
short compared to Philly because Philly is very tall.
Yes, correct.
But if it's happening right in front of us, we could compare heights, basically.
Right. The shadows are not true to form. They are, like I said, like almost like a shadow puppet show
Mm-hmm.
of what you were seeing. So so yeah, so the detail isn't 4K or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I say that after that figure walks off of the scene, Philly's shadow like just sits up and then it ends.
Yep, perfect. Yeah, and then the shadows just drop.
Yeah.
They almost like liquid pour off the wall and the light back into the
Yeah.
shadows of the alleyway.
She'll give a quick thank you to the shadows.
Okay.
Then look to the group. Well, most I could tell is short, feminine in a way. The sickle was interesting. That it was put in a box. And you said the box went into the alley, or the figure went into the alley?
The figure. So basically, the sickle disappeared into the box,
Mm-hmm.
and then the box sort of vanished into the figure,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then it moved off into the alleyway.
Mm.
Couple of things come to mind.
Well, I can talk to you. She says
Yes.
that she goes into the alley.
Billy was most definitely an afterthought, I fear. The knoll was the main target, but only two people I know off the top of my head uses a sacred sickle. And I doubt they would come here for a knoll, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
Very.
All right. Question. Or rather,
Yes.
idea.
Mm-hmm.
This is a crowd. This is a place. This is a public place, right? Like this is like later in the day, early evening, that sort of thing.
I would assume it's nighttime right now.
Nighttime? Are there any other people? Are there newsy goblins? That sort of thing.
We
Is
haven't
this
told the goblins about Harker yet.
Is this the only thing? Is this the only instance of somebody like losing bits and pieces along this alley or in our general area? Because there was that one book that famous broad wrote, like Frankenstein or something like that.
Frankenstein.
Whatever.
Mary Shelley.
Yes, the famous broad. Now,
We're friends.
what if it's like a like an imposter killer, like somebody's like trying to recreate what they read in the books, like they're like
That's very
getting
clever.
bits and pieces to like put together something bigger.
I wonder why they would go for Philly's head after that, though.
I don't know. You
I
need
mean,
like
it could be like you said, that you might as well.
like if you already like if you see a good head laying there and then you see a good nose and you're already a weirdo who's going around collecting body parts, next thing you know you see both of them and you're like, you never know when I could use a good nose. A good nose is so hard to come by these days. Like you'd be able to just grab that, but if so, like it doesn't have to be maybe one of the people with your sickles. Maybe it's just a completely random happenstance that they happen to have one of these things. They think to themselves, "Oh, what'd be really good with this? Oh, getting a really good head, and probably a good nose. I mean, a really good nose, and probably, you know what? I'm gonna go talk. I'm gonna go walk around. I'm gonna.
If you see one of the goblins, tell them hello.
So with that notion, do you guys try to seek out, any of the more wee creatures who may have been standing
Yeah.
by?
Looking for some witnesses.
We gotta case the joint. See?
It's really hard not to be doing that voice right now.
Yeah.
So again, the shadows are all there. It's barely any color to anything except Lilith's lips, of course, and.
Whenever Kane is speaking, and like he gets a bit ridiculous at times. Philly will put a hand over where her face should be, and her shoulders rise and fall as though she's giggling. She's very expressive.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess who's leading this charge to find
Kane.
some okay.
Kane put his
Okay.
foot in his mouth, so he is immediately going somewhere where the person he just complimented is not, which is probably talking to goblins.
All right. Yeah, give me some brains rolls to try to find yourself a gobo or two.
What are we gonna do tonight, Brain? Try and talk to goblins.
Goblins, that's right.
Wow. An 11.
All right.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, you see an older goblin dressed like a human boy with the little newsy cap, and he's dragging his bag, and he's headed somewhere. And you call out to him. How do you approach him?
Yeah. I'll just be like, wait, before you go, buddy. I'm looking to buy a copy of today's paper. Maybe you could help me out.
Well, sure. See, sir, I've got right here. Here you go. That's a nickel.
Now, say I wanted to get a little bit of information, and I was also willing to be a bit generous as your benefactor. Do you think we could maybe work out a deal so you don't have to carry all those papers back to wherever the hell you're taking them?
Sure, a nickel a piece, though, because, you know.
How many you got?
Roll me a d6.
1.
All right. 10 papers. He's still got in the bag.
Tell you what,
50 cents.
I'll give you a whole $1 for all your papers and a little bit of extra information.
Sold. And he, lumps 10 papers at you.
Oh, these are much heavier than I thought. Hold on. He just, sets them down on the ground. He has no
Sunday.
intention of taking them with him.
I know, but the goblin doesn't know
Yeah.
that, so.
Yeah, the goblin doesn't care. He got paid. I have a friend who late at night, it seems, may have lost her head. I have another friend who came by this general area at roughly the same time, seems to be missing his nose. Do you know anything about, have any of your friends experienced something similar? Maybe missing fingers, missing hands, missing organs? I don't really know this guy's MO. But what I do know is that there is a lady who is in need of help, and she is laughing at my jokes. So you really need to help me out with this one.
And he's like, like something stuck in his throat, and we through the veil see it's this old goblin, and he's coughing, joking, and then switch camera, we see it's this looks like a young boy, coughing, and he's like, your answer's right there in the paper, sir. And then switch back to old goblin. Just page 4. Look at the page 4. You'll see the answers you need. You got 10 answers right there. I gotta go. And he starts lumping away,
fine.
still dragging the canvas bag.
I got all the papers, but it was one of those read all the answers. Fine. He puts the $1 in his hand anyways. He wasn't helpful, but that's Lilith's money.
All right. So you take the papers back to your friends.
Yeah, I give each one a paper.
All right. When you flip it open, it says "Body Found" is the headline, and it shows a new a newsman tried to get a picture, but of course someone shook it or whatever, and so yeah, it's that blurry 30s or 20s, flash powder. What the hell are we really looking at? Kind of thing. Now again, we see what looks like a dead human, but Jen, what creature is it actually that's laying there in the photo from through the veil?
Oh, through the veil. You know what? I'm gonna say, in the spirit of Halloween, it's probably a zombie.
All right.
One of those who've been able to coexist with other people.
Okay. Yeah. So as you guys are reading the paper, it says that body was found, seemed to be some kind of vagrant, but the atrocity that occurred is rocking the city, as its heart was removed.
Oh, so I guess they are going after organs.
Interesting. A nose, a heart, well, head.
All right, I have an idea.
Yes.
It might seem a little crazy.
We're already there, but go on.
If we go to the butcher shop, they got a lot of extra organs lying around. If we ask the butcher, hey, is somebody been coming in buying up a lot of these organs? Like more so than normal to make sausage, that sort of thing. Maybe they'll give us like a profile. Right?
Not a bad idea, but
Ever thought maybe a witch's brew?
a
What?
witch's brew.
Zombie's heart, Noel's nose, Doulahan's head.
And dead
Seems
man's
they're only-
toe.
Oh,
It
don't say
seems-
that. It's going to happen.
It seems they're only targeting creatures.
From our world.
Exactly. Sorry, I choked. My food went down the wrong pipe.
Well, we could see. Well, I don't know if the necromancer who created this poor zombie would be in town still. But I think, Kane, you might have an idea. We could go to Barnaby's. He might know.
Who is Barnaby?
The supernatural butcher who caters to.
Of course! That's his name!
Yes. He's quite a kind fellow. I just picture this giant ass troll that's like this serious, or like an orc, like the most serious face.
So somebody write the name down if we ever want to do it again.
Yeah,
but again,
Barnaby.
this is Dark Shadows, so it can be a different actor playing the same person, and
He caters to the
It's
more
just Jonathan
selective
Freed.
clientele, particularly the Selkies and the Sirens.
Wait, so
I've
like
gotten
he
a-
butchers things for the Selkies and Sirens, or he
He
butchers
helps,
them?
he helps provide food.
It keeps the population crime statistics down if there's not so many people disappearing.
You know what? Sometimes I like not knowing about this side of things. Regular crimes, stealing things, that's easy to understand.
Technically, they're just stealing things.
You should get to know the Red Cap gang. They're very lovely people.
It's just like 1,000-yard stare.
So you climb back into the
Nice.
carriage and clop your way to
Um,
Barnaby's.
Kane will have Lilith ask Philly for any requests.
Any musical request, dear?
I don't know the names of songs. This is a Wings problem.
Just, she has a request, yes, she has a request, no.
She'll request an old writing song.
Can Lilith sit up with Philly?
Yes,
Sit
if
up
you
with
insist.
It's two all in black women.
I got a 9 on my knowledge of old writing songs.
All right. All right.
I'll need
Philly,
Beltane's help.
Yeah, he Beltane, do you want to
Yeah, I'll help him.
Okay, roll
'Cause
to help.
One die or two for this one?
Two.
Two. Cool. 7.
Okay. Yep, that pushes him over. He's playing it wrong, but you're like, G minus or somewhere along the line you tweak what he's
Yeah.
Yeah,
correct it and say it's a shanty. Think of it like a shanty.
Shanties I can do.
It's close.
It's got a strong like beat to it, intended to be played like at the same rate that the horses are going.
Awesome. So then, we see the scene. You get to the butchers. Kane, I'm gonna say that your veil vision when you're with your friends, you are much more aware. It's almost like their aura and what they're seeing affects how you see things.
Oh yeah.
And so I still may switch it up on you at sometimes.
Totally fair.
It's great story. Werewolf in a kilt. What?
Just too funny.
Too funny.
Too funny.
Watch episode blah blah blah. Anyway,
It was like 2. I was like 4. I don't know.
Oh.
So you walk into Barnaby's and this, emaciated, probably almost 7 feet tall, but it's completely emaciated except for this big like pot belly, gangly long arms, and almost claws. A vicious, probably 1.5 long tongue. It's a ghoul. And they got an apron on, and to the rest of the world they have like a white shirt and white pants and black shoes and stuff, but to us they pretty much just have a loincloth and an apron on and big cleavers and whatnot, and they Beltane.
Barnaby.
Hi,
And
Barnaby dear.
this is Kane. He's with us, and Philly, visiting from the underworlds.
Billy, do you have your mannequin head on and your veil?
Yeah, if she's out and about, she'd be wearing the head.
Okay.
Though she might tip her hat and the head comes up with it.
Okay. All right. And he kind of snort chuckles. I mean, we've been delivering blood for ever now. Do you need more blood? Is that?
No. You've been fantastic, and your raise is actually coming up next week, so don't worry about it. But we are in query after if there's been a rise in supernatural sales, particularly towards specific parts like livers or kidneys and stuff like that.
No, they're doing just pretty regular, I mean, most creatures of our ilk are, they got habits.
Yes.
Sorry can't help you much there, but
That's fine. The migrations of Wendigos are coming through in 2 weeks' time, so stock up on extra things for them. We don't want the townspeople to go missing.
Right. Yeah, that's a good thing. And he takes a piece of chalk, and there's like a blackboard there, and he starts to write, and we all see it in like some sort of, like a crushed some ancient tongue, some ancient language, but it just looks like like an order for a burger and extra chicken gizzards and stuff like that. But then, like I said, we all see it as a Crustian or ancient Sumerian or something like that written on the board. It's like, yeah, I heard Chuckles had died, and Chuckles had died, and then and he knows the zombie's name, and
Stubbs
says that Stubbs and Stubbs and Chuckles. It's a jazz town, people. It's a jazz town. So
Barnaby,
Yeah.
dear, have you heard anything else similar to what happened to Stubbs and Chuckle?
No, I know. They'd be cutting into my business.
Uh-huh.
If I did, yeah, I'd have said something to you, Miss Lilith.
Of course. Just want to make sure nothing happened just now. Would you know, you who, a man of much knowledge, would you know anyone who collects different body parts? Like a nose, a heart, a head?
Hmm. Uh. Oh my goodness, I can't think of the headhunting creature. There is one.
I think it might be the Dullahan.
Yeah, then maybe it is. There's one that's like a Wendigo type creature, but anyway, yeah, he'll say something akin to a Wendigo, collects heads, and then he's like, noses, that's just weird.
Very.
And a zombie heart.
Yes.
What are you trying to get yourself zombied? That just doesn't make any sense.
Yes, that's what we're trying to find out. But there seems to be people missing body parts around.
I mean, a necromancer, maybe?
Maybe.
Possibly, but the last one we knew of moved out a couple weeks ago to go towards California. She said it was sunnier there than here.
And Lilith makes a face.
Well, I mean, wouldn't that mean that their place is empty?
Oh dear.
Possibly.
I think I know where we need to go next.
Then he shrugs.
Thank you, Barnaby.
Belton, do you remember where Cindy lived?
I do, yes. I've only been there once or twice, but a quaint little cottage towards the shore, if I recall.
We should stop by and pay a
Bright
visit.
blue. Ugly color for a house. Anyways.
All
Would
right.
you all like to go to the necromancer's house?
Would I like to? Not particularly. Are we going to? Most probably.
Yes. I just thought it was polite to ask.
If it will help the investigation, then absolutely.
I think it might, dear.
So you clop off and into the mists and arrive at dear Cindy Lou Who's house, and there's it's a bright blue little Cape Cod sitting on the sea cliff out, overlooking the ocean, and as you get there, you pull up and we see you start to get out, and as you turn you see the house, and then uncharacteristically, because the moon was out for most of the evening, so there seems to be like some wispy clouds passing in front of the moon, and then it parts, and you see way beyond the house on the peak of the cliff like some old building. It's either like an observatory or a asylum. It's hard to tell from here.
I think Cindy kept a key under the mat, if I recall correctly.
So you
The skeleton key.
da, da, da.
That's literally one of my powers!
Oh.
Even the zombies thought that was funny.
I think while they're opening the door, Lilith is gonna like be in the back of the group with Philly. You know, he is single as far as I know.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's good information to have. What is he like? Gold?
Yes.
I can't touch gold.
He likes jazz music a lot. Not a big fan of reading.
I like jazz.
Enjoys a nice. What was it? Was it that cane always ordered like a whiskey?
You got a Manhattan.
He likes a Manhattan.
She gets out a notebook and starts writing these down.
Yeah. You do know he does play at my club weekly if you'd like to pass by.
I might have to make that a spot that I go to regularly then.
Drinks on the house when you get your head back.
Oh, thank you. So sweet. You know, I could just pour it down the neck hole, but it's not the same.
Yeah, you don't get, to taste it. But don't worry. We'll get your head back, dear. I'm sure that's much better to express certain things in a relationship to have your head back.
Yes, you are right about that.
And Beltane, you get the skeleton key from under the mat, and you open the door, and upon the door is stark white, and there's a wreath of it's like a funeral wreath. It's all like black flowers and bits and bobs of white lilies and whatnot.
I gave her that
there.
for Christmas. I'm glad she still has it.
And the door creaks open, and it is just like you would expect, a quaint little cottage on the seashore. You would completely expect to rent this if you were the Joneses coming up for a weekend on the shore.
I don't want to point the obvious, but there is, that creepy building up on the top of the cliff.
Yes. I just wanted to get some cake from Cindy's house, to be honest.
I don't think she'll have things that are
she
still
keeps it
edible
safe.
here.
Yeah, she does. She taught me this trick on how to preserve food. It's
Right.
Apparently, you can apply necromancy to food preservation.
Is it dark in the building?
Yes.
Philly will she'll silhouette herself in the doorway. If she had her head, she'd probably have to duck, but she still fills the doorway, just up to the neck. She's going to snap her fingers and light every candle in the house, just in a wave, just.
Okay.
That is so convenient.
Is it all like the eerie blue light kind of thing?
Course. Oh, it's gotta be, right?
So the little hurricane lanterns and the candles, like all the scented vanilla candles and whatnot that the necromancer has in her home. So now it smells like cookies. But you also notice that the electric lights come on too. The switches with your thaumaturgy, when you want light, the electric switches all flip too, and so then the electric light, it does this kind of crazy blue, ghostly light, but it's really turned. They really turned on. Yeah, and Beltane, you see this beautiful cake on the table with a couple of wedges cut out of it, and it's got a glass dome over it, it's on a cake, an actual cake pan with a dome over it, and the handle is a little skull, like a crystalline skull, but the rest of it is all see-through and whatnot.
Oh, I should ask her where she gets this cutlery. Also, nice in the courtyard. Can a necromancer cure your depression if you're dead inside?
Ah.
Nice in the courtyard.
I think
I'm adding it to the notes.
Beltane opens the little cake thing and takes some cake on a plate.
It's literally a layer cake, and it's
Mhm.
black and white, cake, and then it's white frosting with like coconut sprinkles that would have formed like a circle around it, and then like maybe a skull and crossbones frosting design where one of the bones sticking out of the bottom has been wedged out already. Oh, and of course black roses all the way around the bottom.
Oh yeah.
I wish
so
I could still
beautiful.
eat cake. It's so beautiful.
Me too.
Well, I'm right there with you, sister. I feel like they're like they have interlocking arms.
Which
Right.
makes it difficult to sign to each other, but you're working on it.
Yeah.
These
Well,
two
she
are-
just needs to sign. I can speak and he.
exactly, and she can hear. The two of them are cut from the same cloth, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you
Okay.
stay here often? Sorry, it's kind of like backshatter.
Only when my work brings me here.
I'll pause with some cake and turn around. Philly, if you are amenable to it, we don't really have a Jillahan in the city or town. This could be our home if I can take the cake.
Oh, and
Literally.
by the way, when you lifted the dome, you heard like a whooshing of air, like a crypt that has been closed forever. You hear that kind of sound, and you could feel that yes, there was a puff of magic. So you have broken the seal of the
See,
cake.
dear, now you have to
The
eat it
seal
all.
has been broken.
Broken. That cake is alive.
The cake will age normally.
The wedge
Well.
that's been taken out of it turns into a mouth.
That's exactly
Pac-Man's around the house.
It turned on its side. That's what I was thinking. This is
Oh no.
Yeah.
So
Yes, Philly dear, if you would like to make this your home, I'd be more than happy.
You don't have to go back to Ireland.
Unless you wish to, of course.
I will consider this.
Be
But
nice
first
to have
things
another
first, I'd
Fae
very
here.
much like to get my head back.
Yes.
Of course.
Let's go to that, very creepy building in the top of the cliff.
Oh, Kane was checking out the rest of the house while you guys were getting cake. Like, we already broke into this woman's home. Let's see if there's anything left. Like
Oh, let me.
Is
a
that
sign of a
anymore?
squatter, a
Yeah.
head, just like things that you'd leave lying around. So yeah, Kane is like checking basically like every door. Is it locked? If not, skeleton key.
Okay. You as you look around, everything seems to be pretty. I actually give me a brains roll.
A 7.
I'm muted. So the closet, you see that it was like poorly jimmied open, like it was locked at one point, but it had been jimmied, and inside the closet it's very disheveled, and it's very disheveled inside the closet, and like a bunch of hat boxes had fallen off a tall shelf, the top shelf, and then they were just kind of shoved back into the back of the closet. And you notice then, this being disheveled makes you notice that one of the hat boxes is open and there doesn't seem to be a hat to go with it. The other hat boxes are either closed or, they're open, but the hat is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't really mention it to anyone else. Just like, oh, that's like kind of like thinks about like how big Philly's head would be. How big would this hat have to be to fit right? Math is hard. And so, like, because it was only a partial success, so, like, his brain isn't able to follow it through all the way. Yeah, he just sort of, like, takes that in. He did have to use some HP to use his skeletal hand as a master lock.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
How much do you think this closet would take from him?
Just one.
Okay.
I'm going to say that, yeah, you only had a partial. I will give you an option. Let's up that damage to the one you took plus a d6, and I will say that you find some other things.
Okay. That's a 5. I'll take 5 more.
All right.
This is
so
physique, not sanity, is what I'm removing.
Correct. Yep. And so, yeah, that lock took some more than you thought, and it was there was some magic to it.
Yeah.
And there was some kind of protection, necromantic protection here that really was like,
undead can't be here.
Be here, exactly. So you got smacked with a whammy on it. And that's when you notice in that hat box that there are 4 spots on the box that are scraped. There's like 4 scratches in the round box. There's like 4 lines scratched pretty much from the edge of the box to the bottom of the box.
I'll take the box and then go like back into the main room and just kind of like toss it towards Beltane. Like, okay. I think I found something.
Drops the cake.
As you're walking back out, that's when your eye catches that the bed has been, as immaculate as the rest of the place has been. You notice that the bed has been rumpled, like someone was, had lifted the mattress and like looked under it and then didn't like tuck the hospital corners back in. And you notice the dresser, there's a couple of the drawers that have, just a nip of sweater sticking out of them, pinched in the drawer, like they had been pulled out in a hurry and looked through and then closed without everything being laid back down. Yeah, I wanted to give you some more for your pain. So yeah, it looks as if somebody had looked through this room.
Gotcha.
And then you walk back out and you huck the box at Beltane.
So I think I found something.
Drops the cake, catches the box. Oh.
Splat. Okay.
It was a good cake. Kane.
Oh, look, there's more cake literally on the table right there for you. But inside that room, I checked inside the closet. Nothing fit me. But that box had some scratches on it. It looked like people had been kind of like rifling around through the drawers and the dresses, and also like checking out on, like underneath the bed, that sort of thing. They didn't put covers back the way that the rest of this house just seems like a little too immaculate for me. But that box has scratches. I don't really know what it's for, but like I figure if we're dealing with supernatural shit, you're like the number one go-to guy that I know for that sort of thing.
Thank you.
Here, I'll cut you another piece of cake while you look at that. Don't worry. Like pulls out a knife from like just one of his pockets. Just
Lilith kind of goes next to him. She's single,
There's like cuts, like thinks about it. What is she's talking about? And like goes back to cutting cake.
I'll I'll show the box to Philly and Lilith, like catching the light to see it better.
You see that the scratches seem to be two seem to be equidistant, and two on the other side of the box seem to be equidistant. Like a rectangle made the scratches.
Philly's going to like poke into the box and just kind of like go around the edge with her fingers to get a feel of it.
Okay. Yeah, the you get a pretty strong necromantic vibe. Being Fae. Yeah, this hat box contained death.
She'll look to Lilith. Death lay here.
Huh, interesting. I'm going to see if I can get my shadows to almost ask them if someone's moved through here and up to the cliff. I can make another roll for that.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
13.
Okay. With a 13, the shadows here are it's how to put this. They're fiercely defensive. They're kind of obstinate, and they don't want to tell you anything.
As though they have a different master.
Yes.
I asked not to control you, just to ask a question to help your master out, dear. We're not enemies, but friends.
Make a fortitude roll.
Oh, fuck. 7.
Yeah, you're so yeah, when you're like, when you poke back a little bit and like, I asked you for to help your master or whatever. When you say your master, the literal the vision, you almost feel transported by the shadows into a almost like a blast furnace. And the shadows that are here, everything is like red, like my light blaze red, and the shadows are really sharp and harsh, and they shake, and you hear like a booming echo of something along the lines of our master needs no protection. It's this growling, like I said, and you feel the heat, and an old car drives by. You feel the heat, and the shadows and everything are shaking, and then they disappear, and you're back in the cottage. It's just this gorgeous cottage with it's like one big room, a bedroom, and a bathroom, type thing. But one whole wall is like glass window that like looks out over the ocean.
Do I get the feeling that this was like demonic in any sense?
You got like a 13 originally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. These shadows are like from the Never Realms. They probably
Hell?
Inferno or the Abyss, you would say.
Oh, so not hell.
You rolled a 13. Yes, they're from hell.
Guess what we're dealing with again? These
Does it
shadows
make
are
me
from
drop
hell.
my cake? Oh.
You see, Philly dear, us and the devil don't have a good reputation.
He's hard to work with, I can tell you that.
Pretty good. He carried a tune really well.
Billy, when you show up, we have like a little side segue where you show up and he's like, servants around the back. You know.
Exactly.
You've worked with him often.
There are many who belong in hell, my dear.
I'm gonna assume your relationship is also strenuous.
Oh, it's strictly professional, I assure you.
You haven't made any recent deals with him.
I don't work for the devil.
And with that, why don't we go for break?
Alrighty, so first off, I would like to say thank you, GB, for running this wonderful game. I always have a blast whenever we can play Monster Noire in our once monthly sessions, but we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go to a place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon! Ready, spaghetti, everybody. Hello, we are back. Before we begin, Nefarious Obituary, thank you for the raid. You are a friend of the channel, and we appreciate you. And GB always does something special whenever we get raiders or anything. Look at that. He has a shield and an axe on hand. If you follow us, he'll pull out a hammer and hit a dude in the face that's made of metal in his background. So, like... play your
He'll
cards
just
right.
take the camera with him outside and find a dude and hit him with the face.
Yeah, it's really inconsistent for the stream because we have to switch to a GoPro style of GB chasing down strangers. It's fine.
People run. I gotta run. It's a thing.
All right. So we have finished looking around Cindy Luhu, the necromancer's house, and we're going to find are we exiting her house?
The shadows here are hellish shadows, is what I wanted to say, first of all.
Okay. Should we exit the house?
Yes.
Okay.
I swear to God, Kate, if Harker's here...
If Harker was here, she would probably have, walked out of a shadow doing a slow clap, being like, well, 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 my old friends. Or something to that effect.
Would she be able to help me find my head?
Probably not. I think she's possessed. Possessed? Is that what we all agreed on?
Yeah, she is, unlike yourself, she's actually working with the devil.
Oh dear, that's always a very nasty business.
Mm-hmm.
We know.
Yeah, she has not been the same since South America.
We went to
Anyway.
South America and the devil was there, apparently. Very much.
And then the devil went down to Georgia, and it was just the whole thing.
What is the devil doing near Russia? I don't understand.
Got a house on the Balkans, you know.
Y'all are in red form. You all got the sillies.
Yes, well, I'm so silly. Anyway, strange house on the peak of the cliff.
It kind of screams scary.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's where weird shit like stealing body parts are going.
Exactly.
And they wouldn't... I don't know when formaldehyde was actually used, but the equivalent to 1920s formaldehyde would be in places like that.
Yeah.
Why?
Science.
Preservation.
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
That is something I will also take into consideration. I don't want to know that answer.
Anyway, we hope.
All right, as you approach, again, Beltane, you realize that this place is surrounded by a wrought iron fence. It
He looks miserable for a moment.
It literally has like spear points, and between the spear points, it has hooked barbs sticking out like this. It's 10 feet tall, and it is obviously the 1920 version of barbed wire. You know, non-farmer barbed wire. This is fancy people barbed wire.
Similar
She
to
knew
the
how to
one
keep-
Lilith has around her house.
Yes, yes, it is. And
Wrought iron.
as you approach up the road, you see a sign that says Revcroft Sanitarium, and this obviously used to be an asylum.
If things could get more cliche.
Don't say that. This has been the kind of year where you can bring that into effect. Don't you put that on me.
And
I didn't
and
say anything.
as you've said that, you realize that the clouds are rolling in off the ocean and getting thicker and roiling and starting to cover the full moon.
Now it's going to be a dark and stormy night, and that is on you, Miss Lilith.
I didn't say anything. Would you like me to turn into a bunch of bats and check out the windows?
That would be incredibly helpful.
Okay. Cloud of bats.
All right.
She turns
And-
into a cloud of bats. And Billy's just standing there, and she turns and looks at the other two of you, and she signs, but you guys don't understand her. She says, there's a pumpkin patch down the road if you're looking for cliches." And then she realizes that joke isn't gonna land, and then she just kind of waves you off.
Doing the sides, and they're just like staring at your hands and like yes, but lightning flashes. There is both of you of the Fae can feel the magic in the air. Something wicked this way comes, sort
I
of
told
thing.
y'all, witches.
So
Beltane actually puts a scarf around his neck and looks to Philly. I still can lose my head to an iron sword. You're lucky you've already lost yours.
That's rude.
So Lilith, you have burst into a cloud of bats. You fly around. The windows are all barred, but a lot of the windows themselves are missing. So if you wanted to cloud your way inside, you could. But the thing that you notice as you're circling most, there's a lot of outbuildings. Like obviously there's like a crematorium. There's a couple of work sheds, a pump house, I already said a crematorium. So like the boilers would be there. And then there's this, what probably at one time was a water tower. But as you're flying around, you notice that the water tower is weird. It's got some sciencey crap or something sticking out of it. That just is.
Can I fly closer to the water tower?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. As you approach the water tower, you fly around, and it seems to have like copper rods. Like, yeah, I don't know. Would Lilith know what lightning rods are?
Yeah. She would.
Okay. All right. And as you're circling around, that storm starts to intensify, and you start to see between the iron rods, there's like electricity starts to and does a Jacob's ladder sort of jump and arc, and then whoop, jump and arc and whoop, up into the sky.
Oh, no.
So
She's going to fly back, and then like in front of everyone, it's like the cloud of bats kind of like starts circling. It becomes her. Candy, I don't think you were far off of Frankenstein.
Look, if somebody's going around snatching up random body parts, I just assume they're making a meat puppet.
Well, you weren't wrong. The water tower has copper irons, and the storm's getting stronger, and there's lightning and electricity, so you might want to hurry it up a bit. Shall we?
Yeah, that's fine.
Beltane will raise a hand. So two of us can't actually touch this gate.
I can. She'll just go and open the gate.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Give me a brawn roll.
I'm good at that.
Is it locked?
Yes, it is.
Says the man with a key for a hand.
Can I wait? Okay, so I rolled a 9 and I have a 3, so that's a 12. I want to think that Kane's like, oh, I can help, and Lilith just.
All right. Yeah. You grab a hold of it, and you would think that, you know, with your bestial strength, it would just come apart, and you're shocked that you literally have to almost beast form it up to like snap. The lock itself snaps before the iron bars and such bend and things. So you do manage to swing the gate open, but again, something's not there. There was magic involved, most likely. You're not very attuned to magic, but that physics,
I'm around it enough to know.
yeah, physics would tell you that you should have been able to snap that lock bar like nothing. So
There was definitely some magic in there. I mean, it's broken, but there was.
Maybe she didn't listen to all the lessons I spoke about.
Who?
Our dearest adversary.
Yes, well, let's hope not. She could throw the gate behind her. Come on.
The gate clatters. Kane will just like lean over to Philly. Every problem looks like a nail to a hammer and just continues forward. Every time they're at an impasse door, it's always Lilith just gah!
When you lean over to Philly, she appears to be checking a pocket watch. And you see that it's made out, it's carved out of ivory. And she will tuck it back into her waistband. And you can see that she's got a long ivory chain as well.
I like your timepiece.
She gives you a flustered little flutter of the hand.
He'll show his. Which, to you, well, no, that's the thing, is, it looks like a normal pocket watch to people who can't see beyond the veil, but for those who can, it's ancient Egyptian timepiece, the sense of time.
But it's made of gold, right?
Yeah, it has gold filament on the inside.
So she, tips over to, look at it, but then,
pulls up the hem of her dress.
Right, like she's seen a mouse.
Well, I know mine doesn't keep as accurate as time as yours, but it keeps my time.
Oh, the communication gap.
I gotta go on the dates and interpret everything if she doesn't get her head back.
So as the storm begins to step up, not a lot of rain involved here, but lots of lightning. As you approach the main gates of the sanitarium, there's these two big white doors.
We have to go through it to go to the water tower?
Yes, yeah. Unless you fly back up there yourself, you could try to find a way in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are the doors locked?
No.
Oh, then Philly just waves her hand and they.
All right. When that happens, Philly, give me a moxie roll.
Okay, I can do that. That's gonna be a flat 10.
All right. You wing the doors open with your thaumaturgic type spooky powers, and right there's a head of a troll laying in the foyer, and it roars at you from that stump on the ground, and you don't even have a head. You're like, whatever. It doesn't.
Sir, you need a breath mint.
And yeah, its eyes are moving around, and its big tusks are stuck out, and it's just a live troll head.
Is it severed or is it buried in the
It's
ground?
severed.
Oh dear.
Hmm.
Can you understand us? Did someone do this to you? Are they here?
And he does the thing with his eyes, like kind of roll them back in his head behind him, kind of thing.
Philly
Here,
says,
sir.
"Oh, yeah." Philly says, "Oh, I hate it when that happens."
Here, sir. I'll pick up the troll head.
When you do, you notice that it's like perfectly cauterized.
All right, trolls and fire. Are they in the water tower? Anybody else want to try anything? She holds up the head.
They'll just kind of part the mouth. You have your tongue, right?
No vocal cords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it's all,
Yeah.
you know.
Use your tongue to point us around. That's how I just take the head.
Okay.
Okay. This big, lumpy, warty troll tongue comes out, and it's like, you know, it like goes around his head, like turn me around kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Turn
when
it
you
around.
turn him around, he's like, right, pointing up these. You see these stairs lead up,
Troll
and
compass.
these two pathways go to the sides. If only Harker were here. She could make a know thy enemy roll. Give me a brains roll, Beltane.
Okay.
I'm gonna start beating cups on the table. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
So,
11.
Phil... Go ahead. Fucking bitch.
11.
An 11?
Yeah.
You know that if you were to scrape away the cauterization, this troll would grow back a new body.
It's just kind of pat around my pockets as I light a cigarette and turn him over and smoke as I clean the neck.
Yeah, you light the cigarette, and he's like,
Don't worry, my fires won't burn you.
Get out a
Do you
pocket
need a
watch
knife,
and just start
dear?
Scraping
Do you need a knife?
like
Oh,
peeling a
please.
potato.
Yes.
She pulls up like her skirts and she has that knife on like a garter belt type of thing, and like hands you like a really nice dagger. Heel
True.
first.
He takes it and peels a potato of a troll neck.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, it's got like the bat wings. That's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, I dig that. All right, so yeah, so you start scraping on the troll, and you're hearing the thunder and the lightning and the low. I think they're called Thompson lights or whatever. They're the lights that kind of point up at the
Yeah.
ceiling. They're like theater lights, but they're the little dishes on the wall. They flash and stuff as the lightning is hitting, and the lightning seems to and the thunder seem to be coming faster and more concentrated at this
We
point.
need to pick up the pace. If they get to create this creature with Philly's head, I don't know if we'll be able to get it back.
True. As I walk and still carving
Potato
away at
potato
Yes.
peeling.
Yeah.
All right.
Feeling
Um,
concerned by this, she lifts her skirts and hustles.
Okay.
They're walking and talking and peeling.
Yeah.
Kane, same deal.
Yeah, he's just going with the team on this one. Like,
Okay.
This is a spooky ass house. This isn't really a situation where like he'd feel even like useful checking for traps. So it's more like, oh yeah, I'll make sure I'll yell really loud if anything scary happens behind the rest of you.
Thank you, dear.
All right.
Billy, do you have a favorite drink?
She like kind of turns around and looks at you like, is this really the best time?
I mean, distractions are always helpful. She says as she lights her own cigarette.
I don't know. What's a good Irish drink?
Guinness.
Whiskey.
Whiskey. She's a fan of whiskey, sure.
Oh, whiskey.
I've already got one character on this show that drinks whiskey.
Everyone drinks whiskey all the time.
A good Irish whiskey, she says, so kink in here. Interesting.
Though honestly, she likes it in coffee.
But in coffee, okay. Reminds me of somebody else. Whose name we do not mention.
Oh, fuck, I was trying to differentiate her.
Harker puts whiskey in everything.
But Philly pours in a ton of cream. That's the difference.
She puts whipped cream on top.
Okay, that's fair.
She doctors it up. It's very fancy.
She gets a little mustache when she drinks it.
Yeah.
Sprinkles.
Okay.
Yeah, I like these.
And when you get to the top of the stairs, there's this long hallway with just doors, along the whole space. All the doors are open.
I don't like that.
Oh, I hate that.
Didn't you do that? You
Who, me?
opened all of the doors. Like when we walked in, you went like that, and then
Oh, in that case, she's just gonna and then close all the doors.
All right. Give me a moxie roll, because there are other forces at work here.
me give a moxie?
No.
Philly. Okay.
All right. She's no good at Moxie. This is hilarious. Oh, it's another 10.
All right.
She's not good. Oh, shit. Yeah, she
I
is.
always roll well in this game. I don't know why.
The doors are doom, and when as they are, you start hearing something scraping and slamming against those doors.
She's just gonna keep her hands up like this, holding the doors closed.
Okay. And you do know that you didn't open all these doors. They were open. You opened the front doors into the foyer, but you couldn't even see these. You didn't even know they existed at that point. So you have just closed in most likely what was a horrible trap.
She is pleased by this.
Okay.
Thank you
Wings is
so much,
pleased by this.
Billy.
And as you move down the hall, all these doors have little sliders on the outside, and they all seem to be metal, like the doors themselves are metal.
Oh, yeah, like asylum doors, so you can like lock them from the outside. She's got her arms up like this. She'll just like put them sideways like this, and then pull again to pull all those sliders.
Oh, okay. So they all open all the way down.
Oh, she's trying to shut the sliders.
Oh, they were all pretty much closed. So okay.
Oh, pretty much. If there's
Pretty
any
much.
that are not.
Yes,
she'd like
you
to
got
do
him.
that.
You got him now. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm on the same page with this.
Sorry,
So-
I like this is a specific wings thing. I'm scared of long hallways with doors.
Oh, same here. I look at when I'm like, no.
That's why it's here.
I understand that.
It's basically where I work, all by
Oh,
myself.
buddy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Terrifying.
It is, and it sounds like a spaceship.
Philly,
all day
dear, we
long.
should really spend some more time together. I think we'd get really along. Really good. Really well.
So yeah, you managed to defeat the swarm of Zeds and skeletons that I had set before you. So
You just close the door. You just close the door, and that's it. You guys are
a
fine.
little thaumaturgy goes a long way, and none of you have failed tonight. So I don't have anything in my pocket via the rules to like, they break through the doors. So yeah, as you cross down, you can hear the scraping and clawing and the slamming against the doors happening. You get to the far end of the building, and Beltane, you've got the head about scraped, but you know it's going to take hours for this to grow back. I mean, a full body probably won't be till morning or maybe even a day later till it's full. Are you just going to carry this troll head around?
No, once it's like scraped and all like cleaned, I'll just set the head down, put it against the door so it can't open outwards, and say, "We'll be back, maybe."
We'll have a full body soon.
Meh.
Please clean that blade before you give it to me.
He looks at it and cleans it with a still handkerchief and hands it back.
Thanks.
Back to the garter it goes. Okay, you've come into what would it be? It would be like a kind of like a cafeteria / common room, and who's magic? The Fey people. Fey people, give me a moxie each.
All right. I got a 7.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a luck to re-roll that shit.
Three luck points get you a reroll.
Okay. Mark that down. Better. 10. The other one was a 4.
All right. So you guys, you step into this room and we get like a close-up of Beltane's neck and all the little hairs in the blue skin kind of stand up. Lily, you feel the presence of spirits when you step in here, but you don't get the prickly flesh or whatever.
My flesh is too dead, dear.
Yes. And Kane, it's just a creepy like light coming in from the lightning and flashes of the
the room's getting cold. Like
exactly, and the crosshatches of the windows, you know, the light flashing across it.
It seems we have ghosts. Hello.
Do any of you have a light source?
My cigarette.
yeah, several people
I have a
have
lighter.
cigarettes.
Yeah.
Beltane will actually pull out a turnip from his pocket that's carved with a very creepy face and stick his cigarette in it and set it on the ground as a offering to the spirits.
You stick the cigarette into the turnip.
Yeah.
As a light source.
Yeah. The old jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, give me a moxie roll.
7.
All right. You see this little girl standing there. You can see through her. She's obviously a spirit, and she and the turnip starts to rise, and she's looking at it, and then she looks up. She's just, thank you. And she turns, and the turnip is going with her, and as she dissipates, the turnip vanishes, but the Thompson lights on the pillars in the place all come on.
Lil will turn off her lighter, which, if you would notice, she used to never carry one because Beltane used to light her cigarettes, but now she carries one.
I see.
Passive aggressiveness.
I would say that's it working on the codependence part of your relationship. So the Thompson lights come on, and they're really dim, and so the place is still all spooky and creepy. You can see like that's obviously a kitchen. That's an exit. That's an exit, and that's an exit. So you can go 3 directions that are not kitchen. Basically north, east, or west.
From flying, would I know which direction the water tower is at?
It's to the north yet.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know if the north door is going to lead there. I mean, you're like, that leads to like a kitchen area. So you're thinking, you just don't know if that's going to get you there. The tower itself did not appear attached, but it also didn't appear to have ground level doors. So you're most likely going to have to go underground to get to the water tower.
Oh no. Well, we're most likely going to have to go underground to get to the water tower, which is what we always would want to do at an abandoned asylum, is go that's filled with skeletons, zombies, and ghosts. And the head of a troll, of course.
So which direction are we headed?
East or west? Pick one. Don't care which. Lights another cigarette.
West Coast, best coast. Let's go there.
All right.
You
live it.
Kane's never been out west, but
I was going to say you literally live on the East Coast.
Yeah. Billy, can you smoke still? If you just stick it in your neck.
It's just nice to hold.
Okay, I'll light one up for her.
Slow burn. Okay, so you head west. As you begin to cross the room, the chill and the cold starts to intensify.
I'm dead, dear.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm kidding.
Beltane, you're the spring court. Philly, you're kind of dead, and Kane, you're kind of dead.
It's just Beltane.
Yeah, Beltane, give
3
me a
dead
moxie.
people and a fae.
hint of Fae, kind of dead.
Dead. Yep.
Hint of death.
Mostly dead.
Cool. 10.
Okay. You're fighting off the cold, but I mean, it literally is biting cold.
He looks miserable.
Yeah, Philly and Kane, go ahead and give me let's call it moxie instead of fortitude for you guys.
That's an 11.
All right. Okay. You fight off the biting cold. Lilith, you're just like basically it's frosting up on your already dead flesh. You just wipe it away.
Are you guys cold? It seems frosty.
And
Beltane just gives you a look as he pulls the scarf up over his nose.
Don't look at me that way.
And as you are crossing, the biting cold, doesn't seem to be affecting any of you, and that's when the tables and benches themselves begin to fly across the room. Each of you give me an agility to try to cross the room.
Wait, I have a question. Philly, what did you
yes.
get on your save versus cold?
I got a 6.
That's a failure.
Oh, you did get a 6. Okay. Yeah. Your joints are.
You're the fucker that tells the teacher that we have homework.
Like, yeah. Aren't we supposed to have a quiz today, Friday afternoon?
It's not my fault. I studied really hard for this.
So you're crossing the room, and your joints begin to like freeze up and ache in a almost magical way. Give me a d6 physique damage.
Ooh. All right, I take 3.
If Kane sees you getting chilly, he will give you his coat.
Aww.
That is why I wanted you to take cold damage, so I could have the opportunity.
I want to be a gentleman.
Amazing.
Okay. All right.
There's no gold on your coat.
No.
Okay. Like no
It would have
buttons
been
or
absorbed long ago.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, buddy. He's got no buttons.
No.
Okay.
And if I did, they're like actual just buttons, not weird
I give
gold
my
buttons.
jacket to Belton.
He just pulls it around him. I always hated my brother's season.
And so it's like, on Beltane, your jacket's like a cape. Because I imagine Beltane is a little broader than you are.
Party
But it's
accommodates
fur-lined.
But then, as I said, after the chill, the tables and benches themselves begin to just fly about the room, like they're being like thrown by an hurricane or a tornado or something. So everyone, give me some agility as you race towards the west door.
Can I choose to attack them rather than try to dodge them?
Whew, you could, but
Was
you
gonna ask
these
the
are
same
these are
question.
like picnic table size tables and benches. They're cafeteria tables and benches. So if you don't do enough damage, you're gonna take damage.
That's fine. I'll take
Okay.
it.
All right. So yes, if you would like to attack them rather than dodge them, let me know.
All right.
And
I
roll.
I rolled an 11. Could I say that she uses her shadows to like whatever's coming at her, she pulls with like a shadow tendril to kind of like move away, whatever
Sure.
Philly doesn't get.
Okay. Philly.
All right. I'm gonna roll with Braun to take out my spine whip and try and crack them in half.
Philly, we should be best friends.
Hold on. Simple math. My one weakness. 12.
All right. Yeah, you're whipping the spine around, and the tip of your whip, the coxie, spikes through the tables, and they're shattering as they come. And Lilith is like shredding the pieces, like her shadow tendrils reach up and like fling the bits about you guys. So you aren't being hit. But they're coming, at all of you from all sides. So we still need Beltane and Kane to make agility.
I got a 15 on agility.
Nice.
I'm a nimbly
I
bimbly
rolled-
boy.
Rolled 11. I think he just
Hiding
uses
behind
one of his-
Lilith and Philly.
No, he uses one of his abilities just to bamf to the other side of the room, smoking a cigarette, finishing all this chaos.
Kane's
And-
literally just jumping off of debris like fucking legless.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the cigarette and the smoke's there, and bamf, and the smoke like ends abruptly here and then starts again here,
Yeah.
like almost chopped off, and yeah, you guys managed to cross through and bypass the ghosts.
She gets to the end of the room and flips that it's a human spine that her whip is made out of. She flips it around and like holds it in a loop for a second, and then it just sort of flops down and turns back into her watch chain, and she puts it back.
Very cool.
I like to think that the tendrils of shadow kind of like come and like under Lilith's skirt.
Yep.
Dear, you must show me what else you have. Can you get another one? Is that like just for you, or is there a possibility to get one made?
As far as I know, that's kind of an us thing.
That's
She
amazing.
says, sort of like,
Yeah,
yes,
Yeah.
doing.
yeah. I would love to see you use that more often.
Okay.
I mean, to show.
You cross through over to the west side, and this appears to be like examination rooms.
Oh no.
And yeah, there are smells and signs of decay and
Like
such
fresh
here.
for
Yeah,
an old asylum.
Yes. Yep. Everything they should have been turned to dust by now. But this is fresh gore and viscera. Do you look in any of the rooms, or do you just try to get through and find a way to the basement?
I think right now we should just get through.
Agreed. I'm sure whatever lingers here doesn't want us to bother them.
I think
All
they've been
right.
bothered enough.
So someone can give me, who's ever leading, can give me a brains or moxie roll, and then someone else can help them.
I don't have great moxie, but I can do it.
I have pretty good intelligence, brains.
Brains, and go ahead.
Brains.
And I can help you.
All right.
Good brains.
Brains. Ooh, I actually rolled really well.
8.
I rolled 11 to help.
Okay, so it becomes a 9.
So partial success.
All right. No, we'll just we'll partial. You find a basically a door that is like basement. It's basically labeled lower level.
Well, off we go.
All right. I pull the door open carefully.
You see a stairway going down. You notice that the bottom 3 feet of stairwell is submerged in water.
Gross.
Is it stagnant or running? For Lilith's sake, because if it's running water, we're going to have a problem.
You see that it's not running, but it is rising.
Oh, from the rain. Well, no, there wasn't.
The storm. Yeah.
Yeah, the storm. You said it wasn't super rainy, but the storm TM.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that none of you are like engineers or building people at all. I'm just gonna say it to say it. This is probably the water from the water tower. Somebody wanted to get rid of it, and now the rain is going into that space and coming down, so it's rising even more.
Okay.
But basically it was the water from the water tower, but now that it's raining,
it's adding more to it. Yeah.
It's rising again.
Would I be able, I know here in my sheet says a flock of bats, would I be able to turn into one bat?
A single bat?
One big bat.
I think we set it up that way on purpose.
I have a flock of bats, a dog, a black dog, or fog.
Yeah, I think
fog.
I'm gonna be fog.
I think you'd have to do fog.
Yeah. And I forgot last time to roll my fortitude, but I'll do it right now.
Okay.
Fortitude. I have 1, so 10. I really didn't want to be partially fog.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So Lilith kind of falls into a mist and floats along.
Travels along the water. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. What about the rest of you?
Kane is going to... He's going to find like a sack or something. Waiting. He has a bunch of shit in his pockets. He has like gilded baubles and gold healing potions kind of thing. So he wants to bring those with him. Got to get like a little rucksack, and he's just going to carry him over his shoulder with him, because otherwise he'd just stuff him in his coat pocket, but he gave that to Philly.
Yeah. I mean, you pretty much have to, you're either going to have to go back through into the labs or into the kitchen, because you don't have a bag.
Yeah.
or take off a shirt and wrap them in that and hobo bag them up above the water.
He's probably like, I can find a shirt somewhere else. It's very cold. I don't want to be shirtless and wet. I'm just gonna eat some of this gold real quick, cause like he hurt his finger doing the skeleton key on the door anyway, so
Yep.
he's gonna use his gold healing potion real quick.
All right.
Just, you don't like gold? Don't worry, I can get rid of any and all gold. So he gets
made in heaven.
Yeah, he gets 5 points. He gets 5 points back.
All right.
His healing potion was just a regular 2d4 plus 2.
Okay. Beltane?
He's thinking about it, and he just kind of grumbles as he just kind of wades into the water, still
Okay.
smoking a cigarette.
How wide is the body of water?
So it is probably like 40 feet long and hallway probably 6 or 8 feet wide. And it's, like I said, 3 feet deep already.
Could she find like a non-load bearing beam to try and knock over and make a makeshift bridge?
Ooh, you could go get tables
Uh-huh.
from the cafeteria.
Because the other option is to summon her stagecoach and basically caulk the wagon and ford the river.
It's the necromancy trail.
It's the organ trail.
But with an A.
That actually exists. It is you crossing the country in a station wagon in a zombie apocalypse.
It's a great game.
I also have that game.
I was gonna say, okay, good. It was like $5. How could you not buy it?
Exactly. It's like, oh, this is fantastic.
So, okay. What are you gonna do with it? I mean, Lilith, you're already fogging your way across.
I mean, if she can summon her stagecoach and use it to get across, that's what she's going to do.
You can hear a slight whisper that sounds like laughter coming from the fog as Beltane wades through the water.
He has to like take his cigarette and hold it over his head.
Yeah, he's holding it above his head as he walks through.
Okay.
Are you just like... Is she afraid of water?
She can't cross running water.
It's not running.
It's not running.
Does it not count?
No.
No, because I could cross it.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess she'd be hesitant to do so, but seeing Lilith go across, she'd, like...
Yeah,
lift her
Beltane is
skirts.
also, like, same rules as you, but he's, like, chest high in the shit.
Oh, well, in that case, she's just gonna lift her skirts and go for it.
Okay. Yeah, it, God damn. Okay, the critters that were in here aren't gonna care about any of you. Kane, how are you getting across?
I'm just wading through. Like, I
Okay.
ate my consumables and then popped the last of my ginger candies from Europe in because it was like, oh, they're going to get ruined in this fucking sludgy rainwater if I don't just eat them now. So, like, gold potion, chase it down with some ginger.
Okay. So for you, good sir, give me an agility roll.
I'm good at those. He said, full of hubris. Oh, 12.
All right. You realize there are like, 2.5, 3 foot long leeches in this water. And if you were creatures of flesh, they would be tearing you to shreds.
I'm just not going to say anything about it.
Yeah. You're dodging them.
Yep.
So people see you like whoosh, whoosh, swipe, swipe, whoosh, and ducking and splash of the water being disturbed.
Seeing him in distress, Philly will actually like trot over to him with her skirts held up. She's wearing lacy stockings. She will bend down to like offer an arm to him and lift him up out of the water.
He is not above being carried.
Right. So you're like
I'll hold the front of your skirt up because
so you're carrying him across the threshold, kind of carry above the water, you know, and it like starts to get like to the point where it like
His
you know
butt's getting wet.
Yep, it's good. And the leeches are coming after his ass, but he's managed to duck and dodge, dip and dive beyond the leeches.
you pick him up, just my hero.
If you had a head, I'd kiss your cheek.
No. So you cross that, you find yourself at the base of the water tower. You hear the lightning and such up the stairs, and you hear a voice say, "Ha! That's all. That's it. We've done it." And you recognize the voice as that of Rue Harker.
Fucking bitch. It's all you hear from the small cloud. It spells out fucking bitch.
Skywriting style.
It's in French cursive.
Yeah. And that's. I'm gonna make my way up the water tower as a fog.
Right.
Anyone.
So yeah, you're headed up you're fogging your way up the water tower. Oh, sorry. The rest of you?
Well, Kane is.
Following.
Once we're out of the water, Kane will like ask to be put down if he's still like being carried.
Gently tip him onto his feet.
Just thank you. You have a very reassuring carry. Now, she's going crazy. We should probably follow that. Also, I think Rue. Then like a big grimace and then just starts running.
All right. Beltane?
I'm following after this fog cloud.
All right.
Cigarettes in my mouth now.
So you get to the top and there is this basically massive steel reinforced door. I mean, it looks like a almost like a battleship door. And through the porthole in it, you see, you know, this equipment and the electricity going and the Jacob's ladder, and there seems to be something there. And when you try the door, a disheveled Rue Harker looks over and gives you a devil's grin and snatches up her briefcase and a book off the thing and kicks a lever, and the table tilts up and the sheet slides off, and you see this golem. It basically has Lily's head. It has the Noel's nose. It has the troll's body. And it has like a weird pallor to the skin of the whole thing. Seems to be this weird, strange pallor. And it turns towards you. Lily, what's your head look like?
Pale skin, lots of freckles, bright green eyes that probably glow, and just really, really long, straight red hair.
And a Noel nose.
Is it just stuck on there?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like one of those little
like a clown nose.
like
It's pretty much.
I got a nose. Might as well put it on there.
It's pretty much that the Lily's nose has actually been removed, and now it's this dog nose, basically, like a puppy nose.
We can find your nose again, dear.
Lily looks so upset.
Her body language says, "I'm so upset." Yep. Battleship door. Rue kicks the thing, and then shakes her head like, "You haven't caught me yet." And then you see she steps back into a red glowing circle, and gone.
You see the fog turning back into Lilith and just kick the door open. Just
All right.
crush it to the inside.
All right, give me a brawn roll. This thing is massive. Like I said, it's a battleship door basically. It needed to hold back thousands of gallons of water.
So I rolled 2 6s. So that's
Okay.
12 plus 3.
All right.
That's a 15.
All right. Okay, so she beast forms out and snatches and grabs hold of the hinges and basically tears the hinges off the thing, and the door comes with it. All of you behind her on the stairs have to like step aside as this basically a ton and a half of steel goes rolling down the stairs beyond you.
All you hear is, "I'm gonna tear this bitch apart."
Okay. And yeah, Rue is gone, and the creature turns, and it goes to bellow, but you don't really hear any sound at all. And it literally starts lumping across the space to come towards you, and it doesn't seem to be making any sound. What do you do?
Just leave the face alone.
Can I actually?
Not in the
Because
face.
my character's really good at ripping heads off, as we've established. Can I hold it down with shadow tendrils and rip its head off to give back to Lilith to Philly?
So I guess let's start with the shadow tendrils.
Okay, that is charisma, charm. Okay, I rolled an 8 plus 3. That's an 11.
Okay. Yeah, your tendrils are grabbing it. It seems to be held, and it's struggling against the tendrils. Let's let everybody else
Yeah, go ahead.
do something. So
Get the head is all she says.
Philly's
Beltane looks.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you. No, you.
No, you.
Beltane actually looks very conflicted because it's a new life and it falls under the old laws. So he's like, I technically can't kill it without permission. So he's just like,
It wasn't meant to be alive.
do the old laws cover undeath? Because
they did to allow vampires into existence.
Okay, because it is an undead creature. That's what the weird pallor is throughout.
Yeah, when vampires came into existence, they adjusted the laws to allow vampires to fall under new life, but with restrictions. So,
Okay.
yeah, supernatural can hunt each other, but they have to follow rules.
Okay. So, what do you do in your moment of consternation and conflict?
He thinks for a moment. He's like, "We can't kill it. Let's just find it a new head."
Hey, take the fucking head.
Fine, we'll take the fucking head. Go over and say, I just need your head. Kind of wipe off the nose.
All right. So, yeah, let me think. Let's say you're crossing the room. Let's see what the other two do, and as you're speaking to it and attempting to get at it.
Philly had something when Beltane was going, so you.
I think Philly will run to the front of the group, and it was running at us.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to do a spin and flip her whip back out with a crack. And she's just going to stand ready, and if it attacks, she's going to basically be the first line of defense.
Okay. And Kane.
Kane, there was a switch that was flipped. There was a circle that was gone to. Is the circle still glowing in there? Is the circle gone?
There's magic residue there, but it's gone.
Okay. Kane is. Are there any like long nails or batons or anything like that in this area?
Yeah, I'm sure there are.
Okay, I would like to use them with my power. It's all in the wrist for my ability to use throwing knives, and try and throw the nails like through the creature's feet to then like lock it in place if possible. Because like the shadows are on it, sure, but like just in case, you know, it helps to keep it in place.
Just
All right.
crazies.
Okay, give me a roll.
All right, so that'd be an agility, I'm guessing.
Correct. Yep.
That's a 9.
Okay. Okay. Partial. Let's say you get one spiked through, the other one hits, but it it doesn't go into the concrete of the floor.
Yeah, it's just through its foot. It's very upset.
Yep. And it again doesn't seem to make a sound. I mean, these go into it and it just like whatever. I think let's Beltane, you were trying to talk to it or
talk to it, and he's trying to think of things, and he's like, I need the turnip.
It seems like it's going to like be violent, right?
Yes.
And Belle wants to talk to it.
Yes.
I'm going to see what I can do to make that happen.
Okay.
Philly's going to step forward and spin and kind of take like duck underneath a swing of its arm, and she's gonna flip her her whip up around so that it like wraps around one of its arms, and then step behind it and try and wrap the other one so that it's got its arms behind its back.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and roll for that.
Yep. Brawn or agility, your choice.
Oh, it's Butimus. 11 plus 3 is 14.
All right. So you whip around its elbow section with the whip and pull it back. You manage to hook the other arm and sort of hog tie, chicken wing its arms behind it.
Exactly. When she ducks under its swinging arm, she barely has to because it swings right where her head would be.
And so yeah, as you get it this way, I'm gonna say, Lilith, was it you or Beltane trying to tear the head off?
Well, I'm still holding on to it. Like, I'm still trying to restrain it with my shadows.
Oh, okay.
The
So
shadow
Belle,
tendrils.
you're talking to it. Do you want to try to take its head?
Yeah, I'll call out and see if that little ghost girl will part with her turnip in exchange for something
okay.
else.
Yeah, give me a charm roll.
Amazing pals. I don't know what 7 plus 3 is.
10.
10.
Thank you.
The little the little ghost girl appears, and she hands you the
pumpkin.
She hands you the turnip back, and she kind of smiles at that. And when you turn, you notice that the creature just rips its foot through the python in the floor, and as its foot comes off the python, the rotten necrotic flesh regenerates. And it also goes like this and pulls its arms forward, and its arms at the elbows where the whip is flop to the ground, and it begins to grow new arms, and the two arms on the ground begin to grow new bodies.
Fire, please!
Beltane's like, take the head. I'll shove the turnip into Lilith's hands, and fire just erupts around him.
Okay.
Then I'll let go for a moment, and I'll use I can do my turn, a mixture of like, now you see me wish I burn 1 HP to go fast, and kind of like in that turn take the head with me as I fly by it, basically.
Okay. You're going for Philly's head, or you're taking the turnip and with you.
I'll take the turnip and do like the whole like very quickly Indiana Jones kind of switch.
Swap.
Yeah.
All right. I can live with that. Yeah. Agility.
Okay. What am I doing? Okay, agility. I have. Okay. That is a 10 because I have +0. So I rolled a 10, so it's just 10.
A 10.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You. Yeah, you got a 10. So, yeah, you do the Indiana Jones swap, and this particular body immediately grafts itself to the turnip, and then slams down on its haunches, and with its dopey jack-o'-lantern turnip face just sits there.
All right, it belongs in the realm of fall, thus belongs into the realm of Samhain, so therefore it is an existing creature, therefore not new. Sorry, a lot of convoluted law dodging.
Do I have Philly's head now?
Yep. And Beltane, your aura of flame seems to be at least keeping the other 2 arms that were growing from cascading further. You're roasting what's there, but you're gonna have to stay on that.
Yeah, he'll just hold it. You can talk to him. He's probably more amenable. Them.
And real quick, what are you doing, Kane?
Kane is Harker kicked a lever.
It was to bring the table
Yeah,
up.
it brought the
Okay.
table up, and this thing slid off it onto
Gotcha. I didn't know if that was like a
there's-
big electrical breaker. It's saying like, don't turn off in case of evil experiment. Like,
There is still like Jacob Ladder lightning
I'm
jumping
gonna look
about.
to turn that off. I'm gonna see if I can find a way to turn off the electricity.
Give me some brains.
Brains. 11.
Yeah,
Really
you managed to shut the equipment down. You notice too that as you shut the equipment down, the storm seems to begin to dissipate.
Do any of these like all these components, I'm guessing, are like brass, copper, that kind of thing? Because
Yeah,
gold,
Gold is conductive.
it conducts
Yeah.
really well. So if I can and like prevent it from being used in the future.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah, there are gold components within here for definite scientific reasons. So
Science.
you go about and start eating up the conductivity, the simple circuit boards
Components
of days past. Back to Lilith, Beltane.
And I find Philly's nose, like real nose.
Nope.
I'm sorry, dear. It seems you'll have a no nose. We could try and regrow you back one.
If shoulders could grimace.
Well, here you go. She'll hand you your head.
Can I add a little something to this?
Sure.
There are gold bolts in the neck.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
like
Oh.
she goes to hand her the head, and then she's like,
Oh, okay, 1 second. Sorry, dear. She'll take the bolts out. Here, Kane, catch.
Huh? What? Catches it, just dust. Oh, what?
It was gold bolts. I'll make sure it has no more gold in it here.
Okay. Do you put your head back on?
yeah, Philly will kneel so Lilith can just stick it back on there,
Yeah.
like twist it into place.
All right. And as your head is adjusted back into place, do we hear your voice for the first time?
I'm gonna do this. I'll do
Oh
it.
no, what are you doing?
I'll fucking do it, man.
Do it.
Thank you. I really appreciate you helping me get my head back.
Oh, I'm sure the nose has to be around here somewhere.
And
Maybe it's in that old examination room.
Philly, give me a moxie roll.
Uh-oh. That's not a success. No,
You
yeah,
can re-roll with all your luck.
it's an 8. I only got 2 luck points, my very good friend.
Okay.
Can't you use 1 luck point to roll an extra die?
No, you can
Oh.
add 1 for 1.
Oh.
So for 2 points, you could
You
make
could
it a
make
10.
it yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
I'll tempt fate.
Okay.
I'll
right.
crump with you, honey.
All right, Bunk. You make it a 10, and
No, it's gonna be 8.
because you're at a
said-
6.
Yes. No, I'm at a 7.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, I rolled a 7. I have a +1. It's an 8.
Sorry.
So
7,
you don't
7
want
and
to add
8.
the
7 and 8 are the same. 6 is a failure. 7, 8, and 9 are
That's
partial.
fine. I'm not adding
and
any
10.
luck points to this. It's
Okay.
a +1 for my moxie.
Oh,
I rolled a
okay.
7 on the die.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, you obviously you don't want to have a null nose, correct?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
I'm gonna say that you've reconnected. Your body becomes whole again. You are a fey creature.
Mhm.
And your regular nose begins to reform magically, and the null nose kind of like lumps off, and your normal nose is there.
Do you have like
It's
stitch scars where the null
yeah,
nose was?
it's the scars. They don't leave.
And the nose itself, of course, goes and splat onto the floor. So the null nose is splatted there. Yeah, because of the partial success.
It's like a different nose.
No, I think we'll stick with the stitch scars.
Stitch scars are,
Yeah.
I think, will work out. It's still
So.
pretty cute.
It
She's got-
adds
she's got
intrigue,
freckles on her
dear.
nose.
Yep.
Yeah, it adds intrigue, dear. Don't worry.
She'll pop out like a little like makeup case to like check her face and just kind of like, like she kind of runs a finger over her nose like,
Mary Poppins, the Grim Reaper.
Does she have like pale white skin like Lilith?
It is very pale, but it does have like the glow of life to it.
Yeah, I know a excellent makeup professional that can make you foundation and concealer that'll match your skin tone perfectly.
She'll like pop it closed and she's all like, "Oh, it's fine. It'll be a fond memory."
Sure.
She will bow to everyone deeply, and like as she does so, she like keeps a hand on her head to like keep it in place.
Yeah.
And she says, "Thank you all so much. I was honestly concerned I'd never see it again."
You're very welcome. Maybe you might want to wear some protective gear. I know someone who works beautifully with leather, and they can make you like a leather, kind of like
Gorget?
half armor gorget. Yes.
That sounds lovely.
Yes.
I have been thinking of getting a cameo with a magic eye. In case I ever do lose my head again, it'd be nice to actually read.
You know what? That could work too. I also know, we know my son is an amazing wizard.
He is, but hello, there's arms.
Yes, throw them in the pile.
What are we doing in this abandoned nightmare zone?
As they start walking and talking, as they start leaving.
Yeah.
She will pull a note out of her purse, her little hand purse, and she says to Kane, just in case I didn't get my head back, I did write this note for you, and I think it'll read better if I just hand it to you. She will hand him a folded up note.
Should I read it now, or do you want me to?
Whenever you want. And she like blushes like very, very like. She has very fair skin, so like when she does blush, it's quite
quick.
Apparent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if you do ever lose your head again and you're looking for somebody to read to you, I barely know my letters, so I should be able to help you out, maybe.
And she puts her hand up to her face the way that she was before, but you actually get to hear her giggle this time.
I assume we chuck the troll arms, the necrotic troll arms, in the boiler of the building.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
We're gonna
Yes.
light this mother up, like.
All
So
right.
we could drag her spine whip through the flames and just.
Oh, nice.
That's very impressive, dear.
Sweet. And any? Are we gonna read the note?
Yeah.
Can we read it now, or do
Knights in the courtyard.
Oh, you want to save the note for nights?
Yeah.
All right. So the love letter gets passed on.
We don't know it's a love letter.
Well, the note gets passed on, and we'll bring it up in nights, and then next time we'll see if there is consequences due to said note or action.
So really-
Inception. Blah.
Yeah. Really, Philody, if you'd like to stay around, we should have drinks.
All right.
Just trying to
Yay!
convince Bill and Emma to stay.
Essentially, yes.
We'll fade on out.
Woo! Yeah! Thank you, GB, for running this wonderful game. I always love it when we can play Monster Noir. I'm having an absolute blast. And GB, where can I find you? What do you do?
Graybeard Tavern. You can check my Twitter for my schedule. I have backed up a little bit on the online gaming, but I'm still in 3 or 4 games that you can see, and I do my own show Sunday mornings for a couple hours. Currently, we're playing Deep Sky Derelicts. I'm a bit sad because they have now pushed back Darkest Dungeon 2 into 2021, so much sadness. But this week we will be talking about the board game because, well, Kickstarter and has opened on the board game for Darkest Dungeon, and that's amazing. That's it for me, GB.
Hi, I'm Satan. You can find me here once a month playing this game with these awesome people in this amazing GM. You can also find me here Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. EST, playing by my Drow Bard, who's kind of dating Asmodeus. I'm not sure yet. But if you would like to see some merch inspired by that, go to the merch store and get a mug that says world's most fuckable grandpa with the symbol of Asmodeus on it. And there might be some Vi merch there later on. You can also find me Saturdays over at Plot Hunters at 8 p.m. EST. We play every Saturday. We're an all POC, all LGBTQ cast, so be like supporting those spaces. Come watch us. We're playing through Tyranny of Dragons, where I play another drow, but she's a half elf, so half drow. Her name is Alina, my buff barbarian babe. She's real cool. She has a girlfriend, and she likes to cut down things. And on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. EST, I'm over at the Hobgoblin channel, where I take Jen here and a few other of my friends through a loosely D&D homebrew world where I think everybody here else has like guest on. It's essentially a telenovela disguised as a D&D game, and you can also find me on Twitch under my name, Elsa Vamp with one P, where I do art streams. I might do one tomorrow if you want to come watch, and you can find me on Twitter at Elsa Vamp with two P's, where I post stuff. My commissions I'm open. I'm an artist, by the way. So if you like to support artists who really, really need help, and their art is their only source of income, come get a character bust. JanaeKino.com.
And I am Jen. You can find me over at the Hype Goblins channel every Sunday where I play Anthony Silverhorn, who was resurrected back as a drow man, and he's living his best life now. He's enjoying every bit of it. You can find me Wednesdays and Thursdays over at the Eldritch channel where I play Marissa the Orc Warlock on Wednesdays, and I DM on Thursdays. Taking people through my own homebrew world, and of course, once a month here on Indoor Adventures channel. DanaeKeener.com.
Speaking of DanaeKeener.com, hi everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. I play as Coriander, the Elven Paladin, on Mondays here during our Four Keeps homebrew game, and on Sundays we're here during Doom of Annihilation, playing as Baz the Drow Rogue Fighter. We finally hit the tomb, you guys. People have died. Let's see how this all shakes out. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/IndoorAdventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or on Sundays at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/IndoorAdventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played since the start of this channel, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. But for now, as we mentioned earlier, we are going to be going into our Patreon supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other but also from the community. So if you are curious as to the contents of Philly's letter, or you have any other questions that you would like to ask any of us or myself, feel free to join us on Discord by following the link below, or if you are in our Twitch chat, the link has been posted off to the side. So again, you can join us there at patreon.com/indooradventures. And until next time, I would like to say once again, thank you to GB for running this game. Thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!